One day, the Buddha was walking with a monk when they saw a hawk chasing a dove. Terrified and panicking, the dove flew straight into the Buddha's sleeve and lay still, resting peacefully in his warmth, unwilling to leave. The Buddha said, "I see that all beings in heaven and earth are bound by the karmic conditions of past lives. My teachings are the same, depending on each person's merit and karmic affinity. Those who have affinity can be guided to transform suffering and sorrow. Those without affinity, I cannot help. When the conditions are sufficient, I will come to them. Without conditions, I cannot approach." There are four things that even the Buddha cannot do. First, karma cannot be altered. Whoever plants a cause must harvest its result. No one can take another's place. Second, understanding cannot be handed to someone. Those who wish for great wisdom must learn and cultivate for themselves. Third, the wondrous Dharma cannot be fully expressed in words. The true nature of all things in the world cannot be precisely captured by language. It can only be realized through genuine practice and direct experience. Fourth, without karmic affinity, liberation is not possible. Those without affinity will never truly hear the words we speak. To have affinity with the Buddha means possessing great merit from past lives. When we understand even a little of the Dharma, we also grasp the essence of life. Thus, living with a compassionate and pure heart is the root of goodness for the future. Showing compassion to others is also showing compassion to our own soul. Each person is born with certain karmic ties and merits, long or short, predetermined. Therefore, no matter what circumstances our life is in, we must never harbor the intention to harm another. Learn to accept and forgive those who have hurt us, never holding resentment or envy. A single wholesome thought creates countless miracles for the future. To form a bond with one person is to sow a bond with all beings. When faced with unfavorable circumstances, the best way is often silence. Offer an apology without expecting anything in return. As the days pass, you will see that forgiveness opens the heart to greater compassion. Do not let trivial personal matters turn you selfish or destroy what is good for your future. Each day we hurt one another, misunderstand one another, doubt one another, resent one another, or judge one another is a day we lose countless good potentials and wholesome affinities that we must learn to let go. It is foolish to think that hurting others brings suffering only to them and not to ourselves. In truth, if seen clearly, the one who suffers most is still us. Others may feel pain and then recover, but we suffer long and deeply, tormented by our own conscience. Everyone encounters moments of sorrow, injustice, bitterness, and silent suffering. Only when we know how to accept and release these burdens can our hearts grow strong. A person's life is filled with different stages of trials, depending on age and merit. Each stage has its own flavors, sweet, bitter, or harsh. Those with families suffer over family matters. Those without suffer because they have none. Those who are about to have something suffer in anticipation. The wealthy search for spiritual fulfillment. Those rich in spirit often live modestly. Every state has its own suffering. Joy is little, suffering is much. Happiness is fleeting, but sorrow lingers deeply. That is life. Everyone desires someone to entrust their love to. But to find a heart warm enough to love truly, one must endure many wounds. Every wound leaves a scar. Scars are reminders of the days we tried so hard to hold on, only to later learn to let go. Through letting go and experiencing regret, we learn to treasure what remains. Those who do not appreciate what they have will never feel happiness, no matter how many blessings they hold. Often, we neglect those beside us, assuming they will remain forever. But one day, they quietly gather their unspoken sorrows and leave that we grow through experience. Some events arise that we can only accept. Some people leave and can only be let go. Some paths, once chosen, allow only forward steps. Many beautiful things come from patience, not from force. So be patient if you do not wish to betray your own happiness. Cherish everything, big or small, because one day you will realize how truly important they were. Many things only reveal their value once they become memories. If there is true affinity, time and distance do not matter. Without affinity, even after meeting, each will still go their separate way. Perhaps a person must walk many roads, taste success and hardship before becoming mature. When you see through someone clearly but choose not to expose them, you understand the meaning of forgiveness. When you dislike someone but do not turn hostile, you understand the peak of respect. A mature person is not one who has simply lived long or traveled far, but one who knows when to let go or be tolerant to avoid needless conflict. Everyone carries their own pain. It is not that they no longer feel it, but they know that speaking of it solves nothing and only weakens them. Some wounds are not ignored out of indifference, but faced in silence, so they can heal on their own. Maturity is the ability to maintain a genuine smile throughout transformation, turning suffering into happiness. No matter how terrible life seems, we must face it bravely. Never choose avoidance, and never curse or complain. Everything exists to help you grow. Know how to make use of it and write your own life. As long as your heart remains firm, external circumstances cannot sway you. Without jealousy toward others, you do not easily lose yourself. What cannot be forgotten should not be forced. If something is accidentally forgotten, let it go. Do not torment yourself. Losing something after gaining it often feels more painful than never having had it. Do not rely too much on anyone. Reliance breeds expectation. Expectation breeds disappointment. Life is like an ice cream. Enjoy it before it melts. In this world, nothing truly belongs to us. If you are the author of your own life, there is no need to write a tragic or miserable story. Do not stand in a distant corner waiting, worrying, or fearing. Step forward bravely, and you will surely find your direction. No matter how wondrous the world or how kind people may be, none of it matters unless you begin living your own life. You are you. Just equip yourself with wings strong enough to fly to where you wish to go. To live joyfully, practice giving more. People sense sincerity through the heart. When you're kind to someone, they will know and respond in their own way. Demand less, expect less from others. Ask more from yourself. Fewer ambitions lead to fewer worries. Transform hatred through understanding. Life is like a puff of smoke, born empty-handed, leaving empty-handed. Forgiving others is also freeing yourself. Practice living simply. Life is not truly complicated. Live as simply as you can. Spend more time caring for loved ones and friends, and you will feel the joy and meaning of life. Keep a reason within yourself to smile. Each person has unique strengths. There is no need to prove anything to anyone. Just strive to develop your abilities, and others will naturally feel it. One moment of anger steals 60 seconds of happiness from your life. So let us learn to adapt and view everything a little more gently. No matter what happens, as long as the choice is yours, there is no right or wrong, no regret. Every decision has its own reason. Sometimes understanding it yourself is enough. In matters of the heart, someone who truly loves you will never leave. Even with thousands of reasons to give up, they will always find one reason to continue. Love doesn't come from seeking perfection, but from knowing how to embrace what is imperfect. Don't let your tears fall too easily, because when you smile, the world smiles with you. But when you cry, you can only cry alone. Be a calm person, live a kind and virtuous life, keep a gentle smile on your lips and a firm faith in your heart, and life will always remain beautiful. Anyone you meet, no matter who they are, must appear in your life for a reason. Nothing happens by chance. They come to bring you a lesson, a feeling, a mark in your journey. When a boat reaches the end of the bridge, the way will straighten. When a person reaches their limit, a new path will appear. Likewise, wherever you must go is exactly where you need to be. So experience what must be experienced. Meet those who are meant to be met. Pine trees and cypresses deep in the forest need no one's care and still stay green all year long. The apricot tree blooms in the cold wind and winter frost without anyone's praise, yet flowers still open when spring arrives. Everyone must go through a time of loneliness. No help, no support, no comforting words. Only then can one grow strong enough to withstand the storms of life. There is no injustice in this world. Only hearts that feel unjust. Do not blame or resent. Be at ease with everything. See all things as drifting clouds. Then you will realize that human life is like a breeze, arising and fading, coming and going, born from dust and returning to dust. Ideals are like a lamp, lit for a moment, then extinguished. Feelings are like rain. It falls and then dries. Friends are like a cloud, gathering and then dispersing. Sorrow is like a jug of wine. You may be drunk now, but you will wake eventually. Loneliness is like a star. After shining brightly, it too fades like a moon rising and then sinking. 100-year lifespan is but a dream. After a century of toil, one must finally fall in a peaceful sleep. When the curtain of life falls, only the blessings and virtues we've cultivated remain. Fame, wealth, and love all suddenly become drifting bubbles carried away by the current. When the breath fades, the only thing left behind is affection. Don't think anything lasts forever. Everything is tied to its moment, and departure, too, belongs to a moment. Yet it always leaves behind exhaustion buried deep in the chest, wanting to forget but unable, wanting to sleep but unable to rest. Trying to forget is trying to remember. Listening to a song is remembering so that you can forget. Reciting a sutra is forgetting so deeply that forgetfulness becomes complete. Whether remembering or forgetting, you must learn to cherish what has passed through your life, that we meet not by chance, but because infinite lifetimes have sown seeds between you. In the song Cooked We Do there is a line. Don't ever ask why we love each other. Why ask, my dear? Love is simply love, as long as we don't bring each other suffering. The heavier the attachment, the more sorrow we create. Many couples stay together for years and deeply love one another. Yet one day, one of them suddenly leaves to marry someone else. Many love each other for years, only to part right after getting married. Meeting and parting. Parting and meeting. Along life's journey, we will meet countless strangers, those who are compassionate enough to treat us well, who understand our hearts. Those souls have deep karmic ties with us and will stay for a lifetime. Meeting is fate. Staying together is debt. There was once a young man who suffered greatly after the woman he loved left to marry someone else. For months, he lived in despair. He went to a temple and met a monk. He asked, "Master, why did she leave me even though I loved her so deeply?" The monk smiled and showed him a mirror. In it appeared the image of a beautiful girl lying dead by the roadside. Many people walked by and saw her, but all passed without a glance. Only one man stopped briefly to cover her with a cloth before leaving. Much later, another man came and took her body to bury it. The monk looked at the heartbroken young man and said, "In a past life, you were only the one who gave her a cloth. But the person who buried her was the one who gave her an entire lifetime. Loving is loving the one who gave you a cloth, but choosing is choosing the one who gives you a life. Such is fate, each with their own story." There was once a very poor young man in torn clothes, homeless and wandering. He had feelings for a blind flower seller by the roadside. He thought that since she couldn't see, she wouldn't know his appearance. Silently and secretly, he waited for her with quiet affection. Whenever he had a few coins, he would go sit near her stall, waiting for a car to stop. When the car door opened, he would rush forward to buy flowers, so she would think he was someone stepping out of a luxury car. He would give the flowers back to her, hoping to sow the seeds of affection. Over time, they developed some bond. He asked why her eyes couldn't see despite looking healthy. She answered that doctors said she needed a large amount of money to cure them. Hearing this, he, wanting to appear wealthy, excitedly promised, "I will give you that money." The girl, overjoyed, asked to touch his face since she knew only his voice. Placing her hands on his cheeks, she memorized his features with her heart. He left to earn money. He begged his employer for an advance and gave it all to the girl for her surgery. After that, he worked endlessly to repay the debt. Time and hardship slowly buried their feelings beneath the dust of life. One day, while wandering the streets, He passed a large flower shop. Inside stood the girl, her eyes bright and beautiful now. The shop's owner. She saw him and asked, "Do you want to buy flowers?" He shook his head. Thinking he was a beggar, she offered him money. He replied, "I am not a beggar." She froze. The voice was too familiar. She touched his face and realized he was the one who gave her the money for the surgery. She cried, believing her benefactor must have been a wealthy, elegant man. Not this poor soul. Her tears fell onto his shoulder, and he cried as well. Memories surged back, hidden emotions resurfaced. Just then her husband rushed over, asking, "Why are you crying? What happened?" She cried even harder. Her husband asked, "Is this the benefactor you told me about? How did it become like this?" The young man, overwhelmed, ran away to a sad story, yet arranged by destiny. The one we love may not be the one destined to stay with us. The one who loves us may not be the one we love. Everyone seeks a shoulder to lean on, a place of safety. And for many women, security is sometimes more important than love. Love is the boat, but destiny is the shore. The boat leaves, the shore remains, as always say. We meet by fate, love by karmic debt. Whether we stay or part is up to destiny. Love, as if it's the first time, lifting each other with understanding hearts, fearing nothing, suffering and pain. A vast and compassionate heart always brings joy and helps share the burdens that soothe each other back into peace. When we cry and no one comforts us, we learn humility. When we are afraid with no one by our side, we learn courage. When we are troubled with no one to confide in, we learn endurance. When we are exhausted with no one to care for us, we learn independence. Those who succeed are often those who accept loneliness. Naturally, no one in this life wishes to be lonely. But when life forces us into loneliness, we must learn to accept it. Accept it so our smiles may remain optimistic and full of life. Remind ourselves that our fate has simply not arrived yet, not that we have no fate at all. Sitting quietly with the Buddha is our own silent and private conversation with life. Every journey in life is a long path filled with experiences of joy and sorrow, gain and loss, success and defeat. Because of those fleeting gains and losses, no one can walk with us for our entire life. There are people we love, yet they may not love us back. There are those who love us, but we may not love them in return. So how far away is the horizon of destiny that we endlessly seek? Perhaps somewhere along the bustling road of life, we have unknowingly passed by one another. There is no need to cling to right and wrong. To be misunderstood, yet not defend oneself, is generosity. Truth and falsehood. Time will always give the best answer. To be hurt, yet not resentful, is kindness. Human affection changes with heat and cold. Time will reveal everything. To be slandered yet not grow bitter is cultivation that a person's virtues, good or bad, will all be illuminated by time. In life, what sets people apart is not how much they can see through, but how much they can let go. A heart's breadth is not measured by how many people one knows, but by how many one can truly embrace. Those who accept losses are not truly losing. Sooner or later, they will receive worthy compensation. Those who yield lose nothing but their pride, yet they gain the hearts of others, and thus become even more honorable. Living must have meaning. Whether one's intelligence is high or low, whether one's communication skills are good or poor, is not what matters most. But one's character must be firm. In other words, you may not be extremely smart or socially skillful, but you must have determination. If a small setback makes you collapse, if a single harsh word makes you restless, if hearing that someone dislikes you makes you discouraged, it means your character is still too immature. Remember this: the more effort you make, the luckier you become. Correct your impulsiveness, overcome your laziness, let go of petty suspicions, resist everyday temptations, and invest your heart in what truly matters. Keep your mind calm so you can do what must be done. After giving your utmost effort, you will realize that you are far more exceptional than you ever imagined. You define your life when you can let go of the past, value the present, and greet the future with joy. That is when you're standing at the height of life. When you can embrace even the unpleasant things in life and care only about responsibility rather than gain, you are standing at the height of the spirit. When you can look forward with hope, look downward with compassion, and look upward with gratitude, you are standing at the height of the soul. Life requires not only far-seeing and deep-seeing, but clear-seeing. To see far is to understand the whole picture. To see deeply is to recognize that most of the world's noise is driven by fame and profit. To see clearly is not to abandon all desires, but to find peace and quiet in the heart. The most frightening form of aging is not in appearance, but in losing the spirit of self-improvement. A person may not be able to change their outward appearance, but they can always refine their inner character. When character changes, life changes with IT.I in relationships. Remember that kindness, enthusiasm, and sincerity often lead to the best results. Some smiles are warmer than formal courtesy and can bring comfort to those we meet. Do not waste the passing days. The more mediocre your behavior, the farther the good things drift away. Life is not meant for surrender. The more you avoid responsibility, the smaller the space life will leave for you. In some situations, do not belittle yourself too much. What belongs to you must be steadfastly protected. Do not wait until it belongs to someone else and then complain about losing it. With certain people, you must express your stance clearly. Only then will the world know what you need and respond accordingly. Do not let others decide for you and force you into obedience, that if doing good brings you injustice. Remind yourself that there are still people who know how to appreciate kindness. Even being given a piece of candy can stay in their heart forever. But there are also many who take others' help for granted, always demanding and blaming when unsatisfied. That if you encounter such people, consider helping them an opportunity to be a good person and accumulate virtue for yourself. That is enough. Learn to live gently. Life rarely cares how much injustice you endured, nor does it concern itself with your hardships. What people care about is only what you can contribute. So when life's storms arrive, simply remind yourself that once you walk through the rain, the sun will naturally appear. Do not waste time sighing before others. They will not care anyway. Some things, when let go, will lighten your heart. Some people, when remembered, can still bring you happiness. Some pains, once understood, can make you stronger. Obsessing over a problem traps you in endless circles. Even the simplest matter becomes complicated if you think about it too much. Maintain a calm mind and an open heart. Whatever comes will pass simply and gently, leaving peaceful days behind. In the blink of an eye, a lifetime passes. No matter how many regrets, weariness, fortune, or misfortune, what is gone is in the past. Once it has passed, it should be released so the heart can be at ease. No matter how glorious or exceptional, how many setbacks or failures, if you have tried your best, there is nothing to regret. Life has many things we must do ourselves and many feelings only we can truly experience. A broad heart makes the path spacious. A narrow heart makes the path constricted. As humans, we should remember gratitude. When working, do not value reasons so much that you forget affection. That a year has 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter, always turning in cycle. But life never turns back. We can only sow once and reap once, so why not strive for the best harvest? Life is also contained within 3 days: yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Yesterday is like flowing water, gone and cannot return. Today is here now, but already stepping into the past. Tomorrow will come, but will soon pass as well. Just like that, in a blink a new year arrives. In another blink, a lifetime is gone. Only by letting go of yesterday and cherishing today can tomorrow arrive without regret. That a life lived only by emotion easily leads to tragedy. But being too rational leads to absurdity. Without obstacles, there is nothing to conquer. Without sorrow and suffering, how can life be called life? This, too, is a way of living. Time is too short to waste on regret. What is eaten is eaten. No need to repeat it. What is loved is loved. No need to hesitate. What has ended has ended. No need to cling that a human life is simply a journey. Wealth and glory are but dew on morning grass. At birth we bring nothing. At death we take nothing. Gain and loss mean little. Go with the flow, and peace will follow. To one person, you may be nothing, but to another, you may be priceless. Remember your own worth so you can act accordingly. There is no need to invite too many people into your life. Meeting someone who loves you teaches gratitude. Meeting someone you love teaches sharing. Meeting someone who misunderstands you teaches tolerance. Meeting someone you do not understand teaches you the art of empathy. If you have the heart, all are lessons that free us from the burdens of desire. Ordinary people often place too much importance on their own desires, which is why they care excessively about how others react to them. When their wishes aren't fulfilled, they immediately feel sorrow. The greater one's greed, the more fragile one becomes. The more one focuses on personal gain, the more calculations arise. The more one seeks to obtain, the greater the sense of loss. All wounds arise from craving and desire. When our greed diminishes, others lose the ability to read or exploit it for their own purposes. If we can put our desires aside, worries will have nowhere to cling to and will naturally fade away, granting us freedom and joy that comes from within. And no matter one's status, everyone has moments when tears fall. No matter how strong the heart may be, there will always be times when it wavers. We all hope that when it rains, someone will hold an umbrella for us. When we are wronged, someone will comfort us. When danger approaches, someone will protect us. Yet, deep down, we all understand that no matter how long the road, we must walk it ourselves. No matter how many tangled tasks arise, we must handle them on our own. Even the most painful burdens must be overcome by ourselves. The world is unpredictable, so we must remain clear-headed. Human hearts change, so we must learn to adapt, learn to appreciate, but also learn when to let go. Sometimes, facing what is difficult to face is also a form of responsibility. Accepting what is hard to accept helps us grow. Although human hearts are easily shaken, we must still strive to live with strength, for no one can live our life on our behalf. Cherish yourself, treat yourself kindly, and live days you can be proud of. Choose goodness. I choose kindness not because I'm foolish, but because I know kindness is a fundamental human nature. Cruelty will surely bring retribution. That I choose tolerance not because I am afraid, but because yielding a little brings peace, and taking one step back opens a vast sky and a boundless sea. I choose forgiveness not because I am weak, but because between people, acceptance and mutual support make life whole. I choose silence not because I lack understanding, but because when faced with misunderstanding, injustice, or unfairness, opening the heart and seeing beyond the moment allows everything to pass gently. I choose to forgive not because I lack principles, but because forgiving others is also forgiving myself. One momentary mistake should not erase everything. I choose honesty not because I am simple, but because living truthfully is far lighter than masking life with falsehood. That I choose loyalty not out of stubbornness, but because I want to share precious moments with the friends I am destined to meet. I cannot be fake, nor deceitful, for falseness and deceit never lead to good friends or beautiful outcomes. What is happiness? One day I asked my heart, what is happiness? My heart replied, a healthy body and a peaceful mind. That if the body is healthy, how do we keep the mind at peace? The heart answered, when the mind is burdened by too much, it cannot be free, and without freedom, it cannot feel peace. I argued, how can one live in this world without burdens? The heart calmly said, if the mind is not enslaved by appearances, then it is free. With freedom comes ease and contentment. That I did not understand. How can the mind, which exists within form, not be affected by form? The heart explained, the mind is the place that contains all experiences. If it can smile through both sweetness and bitterness, it will not cling to anything. I asked again, how can one become so lighthearted? My heart replied, gains and losses are like a seesaw. When you don't have something, you feel lack. When you gain it, you want more. If the mind is steady and peaceful, why exhaust yourself chasing after passing storms? I wondered, is the heart vast or is the world vast? The heart replied, whether heaven and earth feel immense or life feels small depends on the mind's perception. Where we stand, everything reflects back through the heart. Beauty or ugliness is born from within. I hesitated. So where are we going in this life? The heart gently answered, in this lifetime, meeting one another at all is already a kind of destiny. Cherish it. Do not let anger wash away the kindness between people, leaving behind late regrets. Because each of us carries sorrow, frustration, and disappointments, there are moments when the world feels dark and heavy, and we sigh at how fragile human affection can be. Yet in truth, the sun is always warm, the morning light always bright. It's just that sometimes we are standing in the shadow. To be tolerant is not weakness. It is generosity of spirit, a wise choice. Let us build bridges of understanding, raise umbrellas of empathy, and share the best of life so the world may always be filled with warm sunlight. In the human condition, forgiving someone is simple, but trusting them again is not. It takes a long time to warm a heart, but it takes only a moment to turn it cold. Life is best lived by perfecting oneself, not intruding into others' paths in any relationship. Welcome those who come with warmth. When they leave, let them go with peace. Do not cling to what does not belong to you. Do not hope for sincerity from those who are not sincere. Time changes, and people change with it. No matter how hard we try, some things can never return. What is gone may be gone forever. The world can be so vast that a single separation becomes a goodbye for life. Yet sometimes, the world becomes so small that after parting ways, turning around reveals a bright, smiling face once more. Thus, when meeting someone, learn to cherish them. When together, remember to nurture the bond. When turning away, do so with grace. And when parting, remember to smile, because this farewell might become eternal. Learn to wipe away your tears. Those who are experienced are often calm and simple. Those who are superficial tend to be hot-tempered and restless. True strength is not the absence of tears, but the ability to swallow them and keep moving forward. Be patient, be persistent. Even when hope is unseen, believe in yourself. Sometimes we must push ourselves to carry burdens heavier than we think we can. Only after trying will we discover the extraordinary capacity within us. Life's journey has both smooth roads and rough terrain. Therefore, learn to accept and smile. Wipe away your tears, dissolve the hardships, and continue walking the path you choose, doing what must be done. Everything will gradually become better. Write your own life, as long as your heart remains steady. Outer circumstances cannot sway you. Without envy, you will not lose yourself. If something cannot be forgotten, don't force it. If one day you forget, let it be. Do not make things hard for yourself. Often, what we lose after possessing feels more painful than what we never had. Do not rely too much on anyone. Dependence leads to expectations. Expectations lead to disappointment. My dear, open your heart. Even if you've cried through countless pains, sorrow is like mist. It will eventually melt away like waves returning to the shore. Do not live indifferently. Appreciate the kindness others offer even once. Life holds 4 great debts. Never forget them. On every path you walk, if you fall, stand back up with perseverance. Life has 2 roads, success or failure, but only steadfastness truly counts. My dear, ancient teachings say forgiving others also lightens your own heart. The world is sometimes turbid, sometimes clear. Who among us has lived without mistakes? Let us soothe our wounds, open our hearts, and allow compassion to flow. No one remains joyful forever. No one is free from sorrow. A generous heart brings peace. In this world, people often cry before they laugh. Those who laugh loudly may still carry sorrow year after year. The world is inherently full of rises and falls, yet no knowledge surpasses a sincere and honest heart. This fragile realm of samsara, so live fully in the present moment. Who knows what tomorrow may bring? when the wind may change direction and shift the course of our lives. Fame and fortune eventually fade. The road bends downwards while the smile of a child remains innocent and bright. Life flickers like a dream, so live as if you have never lived before. Sometimes pause for a moment, calmly watching the clouds and waters drift by beneath the bridge. Let us give each other kind and loving words so that we may begin again from the very start. Feel happiness in the smallest things. Happiness does not lie in what position you hold, but in whether you are loved and appreciated wherever you go. Happiness is not in how much money you accumulate, but in whether you can spend your days doing what you love. Happiness does not lie in how beautiful your wife is or how successful your husband may be, but in how radiant the smile on your partner's lips appears. Happiness does not lie in how spacious your house is, but in how much laughter fills it. Happiness does not lie in how luxurious your car is, but in your ability to keep your hands steady on the wheel and return home safely. Happiness is not in eating well or dressing well, but in having fewer illnesses and misfortunes. Happiness does not lie in thunderous applause when you succeed, but in having someone say to you in your darkest moments, "Hey, keep going." Happiness is not how many sweet words you have heard, but in having someone tell you, while you weep in sorrow, "It's okay, I'm right here beside you." Happiness is not merely in visiting temples each day to seek peace, but in building a quiet sanctuary within your own soul amidst the chaos of life. Happiness comes from knowing how to transform big problems into small ones, and small problems into drifting clouds. Our hearts become as vast as the ocean beside this life. Music recognizes both suffering and joy. We often embrace our joys tightly within our own small world, unable to let them spread across horizons or reach all living beings. And we often chase away our suffering, yet it refuses to leave, echoing back into our hearts. Sorrow piles up over the years, making us weary, and we blame life for lacking understanding. Share your sadness so the soul can calm after storms. Share your joy so it can spread its wings to 1,000 directions. Our hearts become heavier when we feed our worries, yet life becomes peaceful when we learn to love. Joy is as boundless as the sky and earth, and sorrow as deep as the sea. Embrace joy without clinging, and let sorrow appear without resisting. Life holds both sweetness and bitterness. There are days when rain and sunshine meet, and the soul, like a mountain reflected in still water, remains quietly serene. In tranquility, the boat glides gently between joy and sorrow. Music. If someone asks what I fear most, I fear the shadows within my own heart. Losing wealth and gain does not feel like true loss. Losing conscience, that is the greatest loss. If someone asks what I hate most, it is losing my peace. If I do not love, then I do not hate or resent. If I do love and hate, let it be with the innocence of a child. If someone asks about true love, it is the willingness to yield and accept each other. Love that binds and suffocates only breeds suffering. Happiness walks side by side with its shadow. Pain that if someone asks what I'm most grateful for, it is for obstacles and adversities. Life's storms help me let go of arrogance and lead me gently back to the path of humility. If someone asks what disappoints me most, it is the desire to change the world through dreams alone. If only I knew the importance of changing myself, my perspective would transform the world into something pure and beautiful. If someone asks how to treat oneself kindly and live days worthy of pride, open your heart to forgiveness. Life inevitably brings moments that go against your wishes and people who do not align with you. If you cannot let things go lightly, you will burden yourself with fatigue and frustration. Because people differ in knowledge, perspectives, and levels of self-cultivation, the way they see and handle problems is never the same. Thus, conflicts and disagreements are natural. In such moments, forgiveness becomes a virtue, a form of self-cultivation, a protective umbrella that helps you move forward through storms. Forgiving others may require sacrifice, generosity, or even personal loss. But it is not weakness. It simply widens and brightens your path. Life, like the sky, cannot always remain clear. Sometimes it grows dark and gloomy, weighing heavily on your heart. Life cannot always grant you luck and happiness. At times, it makes you taste every shade of sweetness and bitterness. So open your heart and cultivate the habit of forgiving. Step past the people and events that bring sorrow, and you will find yourself standing high above, gazing toward the far horizon. Impermanence governs all unions and separations on rainy days, sitting alone on a high mountain, looking out at the endless mist drowned beneath white sheets of rain. Clouds shroud all familiar paths. Time casts a pale, blurry color over every imperfect memory. No matter how many years pass, as the dust of time settles and thickens, human life becomes dreamlike, like cold ashes of winter. If one must choose which memories torture the heart the most over the span of decades, the first to surface will always be the memories of affection intertwined with long, lingering farewells. Why not the joyous memories, but instead the painful ones of separation? Because everyone seeks happiness. Even those painful memories once began as happiness, until fate ended and affection dissolved. Happiness transformed into an ocean of sorrow filled with endless tears. Parting with someone means no longer being beside the one you love, no longer sharing sweet moments, no longer creating experiences together. Having to part ways with once familiar love and letting go of old habits is difficult. Suddenly, you must return to being alone. Loneliness makes acceptance hard. The desire to deny reality and cling to past happiness is what torments the heart most. Sit quietly and face your heart to truly see the essence of the love you once held, and answer honestly whether you love someone because you wanted them to be happy or because you wanted yourself to be happy. If love is rooted in the desire to fulfill only your own happiness, then you are merely borrowing affection in a selfish way. When they choose to leave for a new happiness, you have no reason to blame anyone. There is no wrongdoing, only the ending of fate. We were simply not the right person for someone at that moment in time. That if you love someone with a wish that they themselves may be happy, then you have taken a long stride on the noble path of genuine love. If the one you love no longer loves you, dear heart, do not grieve, do not blame yourself. Be grateful for every moment of happiness shared and cherish it while it existed. Do not long for what is beyond reach. To love someone is to wish them peace and fulfillment. If you cannot walk beside them any longer, if their chosen path of happiness no longer includes you, then wholeheartedly wish them the life they long for, an old love, someone you once cared for deeply. If they fall into hardship, what joy could you possibly gain from seeing them suffer? Even if you cannot walk together to the end of time, they remain someone you once loved, simply a person with whom fate has been fulfilled and the karmic debt paid. Goodbye brings sadness, yes, but there is nothing to fear. Happiness for them and happiness for yourself does not depend on staying together forever. In this world of impermanence, no one knows how long anything will last. Sitting together, sharing a cup of tea in stillness, it is enough just to truly see each other, to be present for one another. Knowing what is enough is already enough. Love exists now within the arising and passing of this limited and impermanent life. Even when we part, love still remains. What is there to fear? Isn't that right? To love someone with all the 5 aggregates of this human body, that I vow that we may both be present together in the cause and effect of this world. If you look at everyone and see their strengths, and if every matter holds meaning, you will find that life is joyful and the world is beautiful. But if you face life with a troubled mind, seeing everything as karmic obstacles, the world will become dark and hateful. Many people hope to become more beautiful, yet the best way to become beautiful is simply to keep the mind pure and the spirit joyful. Such beauty allows others to feel at ease, not generating aversion. What we receive in this life is the result of what we created before, and what we're doing now will bring its results later. Life continues on in this way, that if we are aware, We can limit many negative thoughts and avoid blaming heaven or resenting others when faced with unfavorable situations. Blessings arise from diligence and a life of sacrifice. Cultivate compassion to help those in hardship. Respond to deep kindness with gratitude, and maintain a respectful heart toward everyone and everything, that if you trust in cause and effect, you will refrain from creating regrets in life. Cheerfully persisting in present goodness will welcome a bright and gentle tomorrow. Life's resting points. Though we are flesh and blood beings, we cannot avoid moments of exhaustion. A small and vulnerable heart may at times feel wounded and pained, but not every grievance needs to be shown on your face. And you cannot go searching for someone to complain to every time difficulties arise. If every pain could be forgotten, no one would choose to disturb their own peace. If every wound could heal instantly, there would be no need for the taboos of life. Remember that you, too, are only human. When the body is worn out, you must rest. When the heart is hurt, it needs healing. As long as you have tried your best, there is no need for regret regardless of the outcome. For in life, many things cannot be attained simply because we want them to. Do not make things harder for yourself. There is one path in life we cannot choose to surrender, and one road we cannot refuse to grow up. Overcoming one hardship gives you one more lesson. Conquering difficulties strengthens your courage. If life could contain a bit less comparison, less calculation, less resentment, and more tolerance, more understanding, more giving, then each day would be a new day, and the world would become more peaceful. That if you have walked a path for a long time, yet see no hope, it is time to change direction. If you dwell on something endlessly, yet the knot in your heart remains tied, it is time to let it go. If you stay with people for a long time, yet feel no sincerity, it is time to step away. If you follow a lifestyle for years, yet gain no joy, it is time to change it. Maintain moderation. A strong person, over time, may also grow weary. Feelings invested too deeply may bring pain. Work pursued excessively may lead to burden. Words spoken beyond measure may become boasting. Life cannot lack both bitterness and sweetness. And in this human world, how can we avoid both warm and cold sentiments? Who doesn't wish for a life of smooth sailing without sorrow? Who doesn't wish to hold onto affection without abandonment? Some things once understood clearly feel lighter. Some people, once deeply realized, no longer trouble the heart. At times in life, one should not be too exacting. Even when you give your whole heart, you may still be blamed. But if you live simply and freely, nothing can truly weigh you down. Just cherish the person before you. Do your own tasks well, live sincerely and kindly, and remain true to your heart. Everything will return to you in due time. Each morning, when the sun appears, remind yourself to live a joyful and meaningful day. First and foremost, for your own self. In life, only the human heart is biased. Nothing else is truly unfair. Do not resent and do not hate. Give your all to the present, and everything, big or small, will gradually fade into the past. No matter how harsh life becomes, persist, for your efforts will determine how much success you attain. When time has passed and you look back, you will see that among the vast sea of people, every meeting was a beautiful karmic connection. The length of a lifetime matters little. What matters is what you accomplish during the time you are alive. Life is full of obstacles. Remember to let those beside you feel your warmth. Each day, the number of people who remain with us becomes fewer. The time we get to be with them grows shorter. Each morning when the sun rises, remind yourself to begin a peaceful day. Place joy in your heart and wear a smile on your lips. Not beyond fate. Meeting before truly meeting is called karmic affinity. Treating each other kindly is virtuous affinity. And nurturing peaceful intentions together in the realm of the Buddha is wholesome affinity. In Buddhist teaching, there are 4 types of conditions: causal condition, equal existence condition, object condition, and supportive condition. Supportive conditions may be favorable or adverse. Every encounter in this world is reunion after long separation. Some karmic connections begin beautifully, yet end with sadness. Some begin with sadness, but end beautifully. Some arise and dissolve within a fleeting moment. Each person who appears, stays, leaves, or vanishes does so because of causes and conditions. Nothing exists alone or independently. Everything is connected to everything else. Therefore, each meeting in this life stems from past life affinities and present conditions. Our love, kindness, or aversion toward one another differs because of this. Some people formed virtuous ties with us in past lives. Meeting again now, we naturally feel affection. Others once formed resentment with us. Meeting again now, conflict arises naturally. There are gratitude bonds and resentment bonds. A gratitude bond means someone cherishes you, cares for you wholeheartedly because they owed you kindness in a past life and now return to repay it. At times, they may have helped you with great compassion before, and now you feel compelled to treat them well in return. This is a bond of gratitude. Conversely, a resentment bond is a karmic debt we must repay. If a lover, relative, or anyone you meet always brings you fear, sorrow, or torment, they are a resentment bond. When someone mistreats you, scolds you, oppresses you, or causes you tremendous suffering, know that you owe them from past karma. Perhaps we lack merit or favorable conditions. They dislike us, but we need not dislike them. They avoid talking to us, but we can still open our hearts. Difficult, yes, but we must learn to transform adverse conditions into favorable ones. Forming virtuous connections, live in this world with a wide open heart, not ruled by selfish thoughts. We must create connections with people so that people feel drawn to us. If not by one means, then by another, so long as we know how to sow good seeds. In this world, we live not alone, but as part of a collective. The word affinity is vast, coarse, or subtle, and so emotions take many forms. Some entanglements belong to this life. Some will continue into the next. For example, when two people meet for the first time, yet treat each other with kindness and feel a persistent sense of closeness, is a sign of karmic bonds returning from another life. The Buddha came into this world and left it fully due to causes and conditions. Out of compassion for this world, the Buddha wishes to take our hand, guiding us through the turbulent cycle of birth and death. Walking a part of life alongside the Buddha helps us feel love for the world, and our hands become warmer. The coldest season is not winter's frost, but the season in which a heart is lacking love. Everything in this life, every phenomenon, has its own cause and condition. Do not torment your heart or let it wither just because of one unfavorable event, and then no longer dare to open it again to embrace life. We must learn to live and view all things with an ordinary eye and a calm heart, allowing everything to come and go according to its natural course. A moment of peace softens the heart. Peace carries us into the night. Peace allows the flowers to bloom in greeting. Peace lets the moon rise high. Peace lifts up the riverbanks of life. Peace arrives unexpectedly. Our hearts gently recite the sutras of tranquility. Music. We often regret the past, live vaguely in the present, and always dream of beautiful things in the future, in this world. Finding someone with true compassion with whom we can form a spiritual bond is extremely rare. A person's value often lies in their understanding and their compassion. To meet compassionate people, one must cultivate goodness over many lifetimes, and only then can we encounter each other, get to know each other, and form harmonious connections. Forming a karmic bond with the Buddha is a rare and noble blessing, for the Buddha will never harm us. His great vow is to save all beings, helping them abandon worldly temptations and suffering. To study his teachings is to learn understanding and loving kindness, to attain complete enlightenment, and to transcend all afflictions. You become angry because your heart isn't compassionate enough. You become troubled because your mind isn't generous enough. You worry because your wisdom isn't spacious enough. You feel sorrow because your spirit isn't strong enough. You feel distressed because your thinking isn't positive enough. You feel envy because you haven't cultivated enough virtue. Every affliction originates from within ourselves. Whenever they arise, it is an opportunity for us to turn inward, observe our own mind, recognize our shortcomings, and strive to transform. In this way, we grow more complete each day, thanks to our own afflictions, the sky of solitude. Being alone may sometimes feel sad. Don't forget to comfort yourself. Whatever tomorrow brings, you must continue to try. Being alone may feel lonely. Don't forget to soothe yourself. When the heart is warm, even loneliness becomes insignificant. Being alone may feel isolated. Don't forget to remind yourself. Everyone has a path they must walk. No one can accompany us forever. Being alone may feel weak. Don't forget to encourage yourself. With just a little more courage, you will learn resilience. Being alone may feel frustrated. Don't forget to control your emotions so you don't unintentionally hurt the important people around you. Being alone means learning to care for yourself. This world is vast, yet those who truly care for us are few and cannot always stay beside you. So practice living independently, for yourself and for those who worry about you. The path you walk is the one you chose. So no matter how difficult it becomes, remind yourself to keep moving forward. There is no obstacle in life that cannot be overcome. Every task has its own joy, just as every person has their own concerns. When your legs are tired, you may rest. When your heart aches, stay silent. When the pain becomes unbearable, sit down and comfort yourself. And no matter what happens, you don't need to show a pitiful face to the world. When facing grievances, look up to the sky. The vastness of heaven and earth will help you contain all sorrows. Because the road ahead of each person is long, and many parts of it must be walked alone. The one who gave birth to you will grow old. The one who loves you will eventually leave. Only you must persevere until the end. We come into this world alone, and when our time ends, we leave it alone. Family and friends are merely travelers who accompany us for parts of our journey. Some walk with us briefly, some stay longer, but eventually, all go their own way. And we once again continue on alone. Alone, we choose our path, withstand storms, and face all challenges. A person who is steadfast cannot be stopped even by heavy rain and fierce winds. Just keep moving forward. Joy and sorrow must be experienced by oneself. Sweetness and bitterness must be tasted through one's own heart. Once you've grown accustomed to being alone, loneliness no longer frightens you, because nothing in life is truly terrifying or impossible. Trust yourself, you will become strong, rushing through life, grasping many things and letting many things slip away. We unknowingly lose many good opportunities meant for us. Naturally, many things in life come only once and never return. And when we have too many options, we often don't know what we truly want. And when we finally know what we want, it is often the moment when conditions are no longer as they were. The karma of a human life means drifting past countless people. Each person brings us a different emotion: greed, anger, ignorance, jealousy, selfishness, worry, longing, tenderness, affection, love. And then everyone passes by one another. Some remember us while we forget them. Some we remember while they forget us. Or over time, both forget each other. Months and years pass like that, as long as we don't forget ourselves. You are now blessed with good conditions with everything around you. Life still holds many good karmic connections waiting for you ahead. Life may wait for you, but you should not wait for life, for who knows how long that waiting will be. Never wait. Waiting is losing. Karma comes and goes. It doesn't happen by chance. Karma arises from our own actions, thoughts, and words that end this life. We may be materially poor, but we must never lack compassion between human beings. The Buddha himself once lived countless lives as an ordinary being, cultivating merit before attaining the light. We too must learn to live according to conditions, to live each day with good intentions and good deeds. Whoever comes or goes depends on the karma we create. Accept joyfully whatever happens in the present. Stop resisting and calmly wait for the right karmic conditions to converge. Sometimes this very attitude becomes the essential cause for creating other beautiful karmic connections. We must remember that for anything to succeed, millions of conditions must come together. Lacking even one may cause it to fail. When we deeply understand this truth and gain experience, we will know what we should and shouldn't do so that good conditions can gather again and bad conditions can dissolve. We often call favorable karma supportive conditions and unfavorable karma obstructive conditions. Some conditions are favorable for us, yet unfavorable for others, and vice versa. This is only speaking within the human realm, while karmic conditions apply to all things throughout the universe. The essence of karma is neither good nor bad, favorable or unfavorable. It simply gathers or disperses depending on the energetic frequencies generated by all beings. Yet many people tend to cling to good conditions, wishing to maintain them forever. And when faced with unfavorable conditions, they feel irritated and try to escape or eliminate them. But favorable karma does not always bring happiness, and unfavorable karma does not always bring suffering. Sometimes challenges help us grow, while favorable conditions can make us weak. And sometimes what begins as favorable becomes unfavorable, and what begins as unfavorable later becomes favorable. Often, whether a condition is beneficial or harmful depends on our strength and our attitude. Therefore, we do not need to urgently change the conditions we dislike, nor forcefully seek the conditions we desire. When our heart is steady enough to generate peaceful conditions, the corresponding conditions will naturally come. As the old saying goes, resonant voices harmonize, similar energies attract each other. More importantly, once we discover strength from within, we no longer rely on external values. Any condition becomes acceptable. We simply welcome everything with spaciousness and freedom. The Dalai Lama once said, "Remember that sometimes not getting what you want is a wonderful stroke of luck. Meeting in this life is a karmic bond. Cherish one another while the blessing is present." Some come to offer us all their tenderness. Some leave quietly, taking with them our lingering thoughts. Learn to live according to conditions. Between people, closeness and distance are both possible. Between tasks, things can be complicated or simple. Between people, feelings can be deep or shallow. Do not expect others to treat you in a special way, nor hope that they will lessen their calculations toward you. In life, there are those who speak little but do much, and there are those who only know how to gesture and make noise. Don't trouble your heart too much. Simply manage your own affairs well. Do what needs to be done. Walk the path you should walk. Keep your kindness. Nurture sincerity. Be gentle with others. Strict with yourself. And let everything else follow its natural course. The Buddha once said, "For those without affinity, no matter how many words you say, it is all in vain. But for those already connected by fate, your mere presence can awaken all their senses." Some matters, once clearly distinguished between right and wrong, immediately become the past. Some people, after a few days of anger, become distant memories. Some pains, once met with a smile, dissolve like bubbles. Some circumstances shape us in a strength precisely because they bring a little suffering. What feels like a major event today may be insignificant tomorrow. What is important this year may become trivial next year. What is grand in this lifetime may be viewed as legend in the next. Each of us is, at most, only a story in someone's life. Therefore, in life or work, when things don't go your way, tell yourself, today will pass, tomorrow will still come. Let everything go and begin anew. There are things in this world not because we don't care, but because caring changes nothing. Life has no if only consequences and results. How you accept your life is your own choice. No one else can decide it for you. When you grow up, you learn how to face everything with a smile. One day, suddenly, I realized that caring too much for someone ends up hurting myself. One day, I realized that affection is something you can only encounter, not search for. One day, I realized that many things can only be grasped once. When you let go, they're gone forever. When you expect too much from something, disappointment comes easily. When you give too much of your heart, exhaustion follows. When you wait too long for someone, pain becomes inevitable. In truth, there is no hardship in life that cannot be overcome. There is no person in life that cannot be left behind. If something is no longer cherished, no longer meaningful, then you must learn to turn away decisively. You may cry, you may feel hurt, but never fall into despair. Today's tears will become tomorrow's growth. Every scar becomes strength that helps you persist on the path ahead. If you once made the mistake of caring only for those you loved, then from now on cherish the ones who worry about you. Imagine the day you lose everything and become empty-handed. Who will still stay and say, "It's all right, I'm still here"? That person may be family, a friend, or simply a passerby who happened to appear. Sometimes you value someone too much, yet in their eyes, you mean nothing at all. Life's difficulties. Easy is speaking without thinking. Hard is being cautious with every word. Easy is hurting others. Hard is mending the wounds. Easy is knowing life is impermanent. Hard is letting go of worldly attachments. Easy is forgiving yourself. Hard is forgiving others' mistakes. Easy is forgetting deep gratitude. Hard is keeping lifelong loyalty. Easy is committing mistakes. Hard is learning humbly from those better than you. Easy is giving others faith. Hard is remaining upright yourself. Easy is speaking good words. Hard is living in a way that matches them. Easy is calculating gains and losses. Hard is stepping back for mutual understanding. Easy is living hurriedly. Hard is pausing to breathe deeply. Easy is making empty promises. Hard is keeping sincere and truthful ones. Easy is spreading rumors. Hard is reflecting inward. Easy is glorious victory. Hard is being humble enough to see your own smallness. Easy is asking others for their address. Hard is finding a place in their heart. Easy is knowing how to speak. Hard is knowing when to stay silent. Light is easy to follow, darkness easy to find. Easy is stumbling. Hard is standing back up and surpassing yourself. Easy is knowing the world is vast. Hard is discovering the temple within your own heart. Easy is rejoicing in life's ups and downs. Hard is quietly finding your way home. Easy is feeling sorrow when something is lost. Hard is cherishing blessings while they still exist. Easy is gathering things around you. Hard is expanding compassion and seeing with generosity. Easy is letting days pass. Hard is awakening even for a few hours. Easy is being born and dying in vagueness. Hard is facing the grave with wisdom. Easy is writing poetic words. Hard is seeing your dreams fulfilled. So now, seek what helps you let go. Easy is sitting down. Hard is taming the mind. No matter what, resolve at least once. Otherwise, difficulties will drag on endlessly. Music, the life lessons I cherish most. I've learned that sometimes we have the right to be angry, but that does not mean we have the right to be cruel. I've learned that if you do not control your emotions, they will control you. I've learned that building trust takes years, but destroying it takes only seconds. I've learned that you cannot make everyone love you. All you can do is become someone worthy of being loved. The rest depends on the other person. I've learned that never count your life by what you possess, but by how many friends you have. I've learned that true friendship continues despite distance. And true love is the same, but I've learned that forgiveness leads to happiness. Knowing how to forgive others is not enough. You must also know how to forgive yourself. Among all these lessons, the first one moves me the most. Sometimes we have the right to be angry, but not the right to be cruel. Many times in life, I've been angered by others. Many times I thought about retaliating out of spite, but doing so only made me uglier inside. Whatever could be let go, let it go. Anger fades eventually. Deep relationships and a peaceful heart are what truly matter. Before speaking, learn to listen gently. Before criticizing, learn to self-reflect. Live to love. Music. Open your heart fully to life. Let compassion bloom like a radiant lotus. Open your heart to both strangers and friends. Gentle rain of kindness will quietly enter your soul. Dawn comes and dusk returns. Live harmoniously. Do not bring sorrow to anyone. And when age fades, you can still smile, knowing you lived without regret. Hold kindness and compassion in your heart. Walk the path home together with others. There will be no sad evenings when you have lived many bright mornings. Misunderstandings we should avoid in life. Happiness is to be felt, not flaunted. Life is to be experienced, not calculated. Love is to connect, not to test. Parents are to honor, not to demand from. Friends are to share with, not to compare with. Relatives are to care for, not to hurt. Reputation is to contribute with, not to boast about. Material things are to use, not to show off. Falsehood is to destroy, not to protect. Trust is to strengthen, not to pressure. Money is to spend, not to measure worth. Life is like an ice cream. Enjoy it before it melts. There are not many things in this world. If you're the author of your life, you don't need to write a tragic script. Don't stand far away waiting, worrying, and fearing. Step forward bravely. You will surely find your direction. And no matter how magical the world is, no matter how kind people may be, none of it truly belongs to you. You are you. Just equip yourself with strong wings and fly wherever you wish. Live happily. Practice giving more.